Our kitten has wanted a small tent to start growing her own catnip, and I think that the AC Infinity Cloudlab 722 may be just what she has been looking for. Let's unbox this 60 centimeter by 60 centimeter by 180 centimeter grow tent and get it set up. For those of us that only know how to use Freedom units, that makes this tent 23.62 inches by 23.62 inches by 70.86 inches. As per usual, AC Infinity has done a great job at packing their grow tents, and while you never want to cut too deep when opening up a fabric tent, they have included an extra layer of cardboard on both sides, which is a nice touch. Underneath the extra cardboard layer, you will find all of the extras in their baggies, along with the fabric of the tent itself. The first baggie has all of the extra hardware, including the metal mounting plate that we will mount on the front of the tent later in the video. There is the booklet that shows you other gear that AC Infinity sells, and if you haven't looked at it before, it might surprise you. There is a small pack of stickers, and then the instruction manual for assembling their various grow tents. Next up are the 4 packages of corner pieces, 2 in each bag, and unlike some of their competitors, they are still using metal tubing for the entire tent structure, which I really appreciate. Let's set the corner pieces aside for now though, so that we can get onto the rest of what is in the box. We are going to set the fabric of the tent aside for now, and below that are all of the metal tubes that will be used to give the tent its skeleton. The 8 short pieces will make up the top and bottom of the tent, while the longer pieces will combine together to make the uprights. You can see here that AC Infinity is still using super strong 1-inch tube for this, which again is a lot better than most of their competitors. Finally, there is the baggie that contains the 3 crossbars that will support the top of the tent, but we will see more about those later. With the box emptied, I am going to pull out the plastic handles on each side of the box because this cardboard is about to become weed block under the wood chips that we are using to cover the pathways in our garden. Next up, it is time to get the corners and tubing out of their packaging. As I mentioned before, the corners are all metal, and you can tell which way they are supposed to get arranged by the plastic end on one part of the corner piece. This is intended to face either down to the floor or up to the ceiling, and it helps to make sure that the fabric of the tent doesn't get ripped during assembly or rubbed through during normal use. Grab one of the packages of the short pieces, and we are going to use these along with 4 of the corners to assemble the bottom of the tent framework. While I prefer non-plastic packaging, the shrink wrap film and black spacers do a fantastic job of keeping the tubes protected with a minimal amount of plastic use. With the black plastic bumper on the corner facing the floor, just click the tubes in the only way that they will go, one after the other. There isn't a lot of flex with pieces this short, so they may be a little snug. Just carefully push them together and they should assemble pretty easily. Once that section is fully assembled, set it aside and do it all over again for the top of the tent framework. It doesn't matter which assembly goes where, as they are both the same, it is just nice to be able to call it one or the other. Once this assembly is all put together, it is going to be time to install the uprights and assemble the rest of the framework. When assembling the uprights on these tents, the easiest way to tell which pole goes where is to look at the numbers printed on the side of each pole. AC Infinity prints each foot of height right on the poles themselves, which makes it easy to tell how tall your plants are or what height your light is at without having to grab a tape measure. You want the numbers to go from 1 at the bottom to 5 at the top, and once you see which one has the 1 on it, it clicks right into the corner piece. Go ahead and do that for all 4 of the uprights, and if you watch carefully, you can see the kitten checking in on my progress as I put together her tent. The second piece of the upright can only go on one way, so just work your way around all 4 and click them into place. The great thing about the thick poles that AC Infinity uses with their tents is that even without the top section added in, the poles hold themselves up very well, which is good with this tent, but even better when you are putting together a larger tent. With the uprights assembled, it is time to set the top section of the structure in place. Just set the uprights in one at a time before worrying about clicking them into place, and once they are all loosely where they belong, go ahead and click them down, finalizing the assembly of the tent skeleton. Now it is finally time to get that fabric that we set aside earlier and see how we need to go about getting it on here. Once you get the fabric of the tent out of its package and unrolled, the first thing to do is to find the 2 zipper pulls and unzip the entire tent both ways until it is completely opened up. If you don't completely unzip it, you may be able to still get the fabric on there, but it will not be nearly as easy as it is with the fabric completely unzipped. With the fabric unzipped, find the top square of the tent. You can tell it is the top because of the AC Infinity logo over the door, and you want to carefully pull that square over the top of the framework. It is intentionally going to be a snug fit, but as long as everything is lined up, it will pull nicely into place. If you feel like it isn't going on properly, it probably isn't, and just try to shift things around a bit. You do not want to pull on the fabric super hard while it is super thick and sturdy. Fabric is no match for steel, and if something has to give, it is going to be the fabric. With the top square in place, it is time to lift the framework up and slide the bottom square underneath it so that we can slip the framework inside of it. Make sure that all of the extra side fabric is out of the way, and as you pull the bottom square forward, everything will just kind of slide into place. The kitten decided to check in on me again to see the progress, and I am pretty sure she is thrilled with how things are looking in here. Now that both the top and bottom squares are in place, we can go ahead and start zipping the sides back on as well. I will do both the top and bottom zippers on each side as I work my way around, but you could also just do the complete top or bottom zipper first before coming back to do the other one. As long as they meet up at the main door to the tent, everything will be fine in the end. Now that everything is zipped together, it is time to install the mounting plate to the front of the tent. This is where you will mount any of your controllers for fans or lights, and there is a pass-through in the tent fabric that lines up with the bottom opening in the plate itself. This plate always makes me laugh, as it is a little surprised face staring at me whenever I walk in the room. It is time to install the top support bars, but before doing that, let's use one of my favorite features to hold the door open while I work in the tent, a little strap of Velcro. It doesn't sound like much, but if you end up with a tent that doesn't have this feature, you are definitely going to miss it. With the door held open, I am going to grab the single low-rise support, and I am going to have it in the middle of the tent going from the front to the back. Once that one is in place, it is time to grab the 2 lower-rise supports, and I am going to place them crossing the first one. You can set these up however you would like, but I am just looking to maximize strength in case I happen to set something heavy on top of the tent. The last piece to install in the tent is the waterproof tray in the bottom of the tent, and all you have to do is set it in place and run the Velcro straps at each corner around the poles to hold it in place. It is a bit hard to see what is going on here with as small as this tent is, but you should be able to figure it out pretty easily. With the tent fully set up, let's see what the tent has to offer. As noted before, the front of the tent has the door and the equipment mounting plate. It also has a clear window that you can use to look into the tent without opening it, and this can be held open by rolling it up and letting the Velcro do its job. At the bottom of the left and right sides of the tent, there is also a roll-up Velcro hatch with screen behind it that you can use as an intake for fresh air. These are all 6 inches by 14 inches or 15 centimeters by 35 centimeters. On the left side of the tent at the top, there is the Velcro strap for the door, a pair of clips to use as an alternate location of the tool holder we will see on the right side of the tent, and a single 6-inch porthole with double drawstrings. The back side of the tent has 3 4-inch holes, one at the bottom, one in the middle, and one at the top. This gives you tons of options for running your cords out of the tent to all of the gear you have in here. The right side of the tent on the top has another 6-inch porthole with double drawstrings and a pair of clips that keeps the tool holder in place. You can switch this to the left side of the tent if that makes more sense for you, or just removed entirely if you don't need it. Midway down the side, there is another 4-inch porthole with double drawstrings as well. Finally, the top of the tent itself has the last 6-inch porthole, which gives you a total of 3 6-inch holes and 4 4-inch holes. That is a ton of options for a tent this size, and no matter what gear you are putting in here, you should be able to find a place to hang and route it all. All of the AC Infinity tents we have looked at have been amazing, and the Cloudlab 722 is no exception. I am very excited to get our seedlings started in here and to bring you along on that journey. We are actually going to be trying out one of their Ion Frame Evo 4 lights in here, which is one that I haven't looked at yet. If that is something that interests you, make sure to check back when that video goes live to see how it does. A big thank you to AC Infinity for supporting the channel, and if you want to check out the Cloudlab 722 or any of their other gear for yourself, make sure to click on the link to their website in the description or pinned comment down below, and use the discount code GEEKS at checkout to receive 10% off your entire order.